Hello, everyone, and welcome to Alliteration, Consonance, and Assonance, the differences between these sound devices and how to find them in poetry. I am Taya Reed, and I am a creative writer. So we're going to start with the reason behind these sound devices in poetry. On literarydevices.net, there is a definition along with several great examples of these sound devices and a small paragraph with the meaning and function of said sound devices in poetry. So they said that these sound devices are resources that the poets use in their texts with a unique blend of sounds, rhythm, and imagery, along with that they use the senses and allows readers to feel the effects of the text. And they also enhance the meanings of the text. So in shorter terms, sound devices are the extra flavor for poetry, along with, the imagery, figurative language, all of these other things come into a nice little recipe for poems. And so we're going to go to alliteration next. And poetryfoundation.org had a really good definition of alliteration, being that the repetition of initial stressed consonant sounds in a series of words within a phrase or verse line. So, for example, a lot of the tongue twisters are examples of alliteration, with Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, and Sally said she should go to the sea to pick up seashells. So what's really cool about alliteration is that they can either be right next to each other in this single line, or they can have a few filler words in between, not too many, otherwise it's not alliteration. But if there's not really some important, like significant words or more than 3 in between each of the words that start with the same sound, then it's alliteration. And that's really cool. And it's really easy to find alliteration in poems, because all you really have to look at is the first 2 letters in a word. In the verses, you look at each verse and you look at the first 2 letters, and that'll tell you what the sound of the word is. So then you can see if they are the same consonant sound. So like green and gold, they both have that hard G sound. Her hardest hue to hold, her. They all have that H sound, that her hardest hue to hold. They have that soft H sound in there. And then subside, so, sank, so. They're not all of them are on the same line, but they're in close enough verses, but there's not too many words in between them. So they do count towards alliteration because they have that same S sound. So if you saw so and stay, that wouldn't be alliteration because of all of this dawn goes down today, nothing gold in between so and stay. And leaf subsides to leaf. So the leaves are considered alliteration. They're more on the repetition side, but since they do have the same starting, they could be under alliteration in the sound device. And then dawn goes down to day. Those hard D's are also an alliteration. So then we're going to be moving on to consonants. Now, consonants and alliteration are really similar, according to the Poetry Foundation definition of consonance. It is a resemblance in sound between 2 words or an initial rhyme. See also alliteration. Consonants can also refer to shared consonants, whether in sequence as in bed and bad, or reversed as in bud and dab. For example, I took the first line of Robert Frost's The Road Not Taken. 2 roads diverged in a yellow wood. And the R in roads and the R in diverged, that is consonants. The D sound in roads and the D in diverged are the same sound, so that is consonants as well. That would be the reversed consonants, along with the W in yellow, wood, and the W in wood. because they're right next to each other, they're the same sound. That is also considered consonants. So as you can see, this poem is a lot less highlighted than the alliteration one, because these sound devices are used to lift up the poem and, you know, give it that sort of extra imagery to the words on the page. So they can mix and match, and you might only have one example of consonants, or you might have the entire poem highlighted with consonants. It just depends on the poet and the poem. So this poem that is an example of consonants is Hope is the Thing with Feathers by Emily Dickinson. So this one would be a reverse type of consonants, because the thing with feathers, so the and feathers, they have the same hard TH sound, the and then thing with have that soft TH sound, that sound right there. So they look the same, but they do have the different sounds, which is a tricky thing that you have to watch out for. And so then you have Must Be the Storm with that ST sound, Abash the Little Bird with the B sound for both of those. And then you have Extremity, Crumb, and Knee with the M sound, that soft M sound. And the really fun thing with consonants is that, unlike alliteration, where it has to be the beginning of each word, it has to be the beginning consonant sound of each word, consonants can be with the beginning, the middle, the end. It just has to be a repeated consonant sound in a line or a verse. And so then moving on to assonance, the best way that I got the two between assonance and consonants, because they sound similar, is consonants deals with constants, and assonance deals with vowels, and it starts with a vowel. So according to Poetry Foundation, it is the repetition of vowel sounds without repeating consonants, sometimes called vowel rhyme. So I took Robert Frost's The Road Not Taken, again, the first line, and I took 2 roads diverged in a yellow wood. Now, one of the hard things with assonance and consonants is that a lot of this deals with how people pronounce different words. So diverged in could be assonance, or if people say diverged in, then those wouldn't be assonance. It just really depends on how people pronounce things. But the roads in yellow, the O sound, the O vowel in both of those, that would be an example of assonance. So we're going to Fame is the One That Does Not Stay by Emily Dickinson. So fame and stay, they both have the A sound, the hard A. And you would think that might do it, but fame, stay, those are not the same A's. Those are not the same A sounds. And going on to the next one that I found is ascend incessantly with the ascend incessantly with the sounds right there. And then you have lightning in the germ. So lightning and the, you would probably not think that they would be assonants. But again, it depends on the pronunciation, because the is right. So right before a consonant in the, it's the right before a consonant and the right in front of a vowel. That's just how it should be pronounced. But again, everybody's different. So lightning, the ing is a hard E sound along with the hard E in the, which is why they are assonants. And electrical embryo, the soft E sound in electrical and the embryo. And then the we demand the flame. So that is another example of the hard E repeating in a line. And here are my works cited, and I hope you guys enjoyed and you learned something new, and you now know the difference and how to find these sound devices in poems. And I hope you guys all have a great day. Bye.